today for a quick, fun, and easy DIY. We're going to build a shelf to give my bookcases a custom built-in look. Here's the look of my home office before, but I wanted to get a built-in custom look, so I decided to use what I had on hand and create my own custom built-in shelf. Here's a list of the tools and supplies that you'll need. Fortunately, I had everything already on hand, and that's so nice when that happens. There I was measuring the wall so I know what height I want the shelf to be. Carry that line all the way across the length of the piece of wood that I'm going to be using. There I had the stud finder. Here I have a neat little trick I want to share with you. Put a piece of painter's tape on the back of whatever it is you plan to hang on the wall. Put your holes in there right where the holes are on the piece that you're hanging. Get the appropriate plastic anchors and screws. Make sure the screw head fits whatever it is you are hanging before you ever drill any holes in the wall. It's always good to measure twice and drill once. There I am placing the first corbel. It looked great. Going across the wall, and I'm finding all of my studs and marking where those go. I'm using a little piece of tape on the back of every corbel because the templates on the back of the corbels might be different from corbel to corbel, so let that be a tip for you with anything that you're hanging. If you buy a pair of something and they both have hangers on the back, that doesn't necessarily mean that those hangers are going to be exact and even on both pieces that you're hanging. Here I'm checking for level and point on with that. Again, marking the wall for the next corbel, drilling the holes, adding the screws, hanging the corbel, making sure it's even and level with all the others. Now I have all 4 corbels in place. Couldn't be happier. This project went so smoothly. I was ecstatic by the time I was done. I've not had a project ever go that smoothly. Okay, I'm pre-drilling holes in the board, the long board that's going to be the shelf, as well as each corbel. If you don't do that, then your wood or the corbels could split. So always pre-drill your holes first. I added 2 screws in each corbel. I wanted that board to be secure. If me or anyone else ever leaned on it, I wanted to make sure that that's going to stay on the wall. Guys, it doesn't get any better than that. And this board is actually a little warped. I'll show you what I mean. So you see how it's against the wall all back here? And then we come up to here and it starts spacing out a bit from the wall. You can tell by the shadow, but that's okay. I will paint this white and you won't know the difference. I have never had a project go as smoothly as this one, and I can't wait to get this painted. Typically, you would paint the board and the corbels before you adhere them to the wall. But number 1, I'm a little impatient. Number 2, it's cold in the basement because it is winter. So I decided I would just paint it up here. I can tape or put a piece of paper up and under those corbels and paint those. And then I'll paint the shelf white. And I am excited. I can't wait to see what it looks like when everything's done and the office is put back in order. And I have to actually move that iron piece over. I'll have to move all of that over and recenter it and spackle and touch up paint, but that's fine. Next is painting. These corbels are going to be so pretty once they are painted. Sorry about the lighting, guys. I've used natural light thus far, and I hated to bring out the umbrella light that I use when I video. But hopefully the sun will be out tomorrow, and I can get this finished and show you. And there'll be a lot more light then. Here I've got all my pieces of paper in place to protect the wall while I do my backward step painting. I just got so excited about this, guys, that I just had to get it on the wall first and in place. And I know that I'm a pretty decent painter, and I know how to paint without making a mess and getting too many white spots on the wall. I did use chalk paint on the shelf I do love chalk paint. I use regular paint as well, but I wanted to use my chalk paint for this project, and especially because I already had the shelf and the corbels on the wall. I knew that the chalk paint wouldn't be as messy as regular wall paint would. So it took a little bit more time, but that's okay. It was actually kind of therapeutic. I love to paint. Um, I don't mind using a brush. I could also have used a paint roller for this job, for rolling the paint on the shelf. But of course I had to use either a brush or I could have spray painted these corbels. But again, that's hindsight. But I'm really pleased with how they came out. Everything got 2 coats of paint. I do that with every project that I do, or every ceiling or wall that I paint. It always gets at least 2 coats of paint. The chalk paint acted as a primer, so I didn't need to use primer. So love the way it turned out. Here I am finishing off with the 2nd coat of paint. And it just turned out beautifully. I was so happy. It did not take long at all. It took actually about an hour just to get the corbels on the wall and screw the board in. So I was very happy with that. And then the time that it took to paint, probably an hour to give everything the 1st coat, and then maybe 20 minutes to give everything the 2nd coat. And there you have it. You got to give it a try. Make yourself a built-in shelf. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.